hopefully that's okay with all of you. But anyway, so I kind of called my sister earlier this morning, kind of ran some ideas and thoughts off her. I've been talking to people. I called Brian Drollinger. Anyway, I'm trying to get a feel for this, and I want your guys' opinions because I think it could benefit all of us and definitely our clients. And that is I want to do either a nonprofit organization or just a support system that is offered through satellite, as well as just, like through Skype or whatever. So for Paula and Ron joining, I just barely started, but I was saying that I would love to do like a nonprofit organization support group or just a support group, but do an exclusive type of group where twice a month, and I was thinking like the first and the third Monday at like 8:00 p.m. And having a topic that we go over and have an expert come in and direct that certain topic and then have open discussion after the topic. So we have somebody like Danielle, you met Tiffany Smith, right? At convention?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So she's one that I think Ron and Paula, I think all of them have met that Tiffany. She was the one that her parents actually sold her into sex trafficking, and she had this horrible few years and took her kids away and ended up getting her kids back. But anyway, kind of a crazy life. And not that our parents have sold us or nothing, but I know that there's battered women and stuff out there. I know that there's people that have been in abuse situations. So she just kind of shared her story with us and then was open to discussion for people that had questions that needed support in poor relationships or whatever. Of course, we're not experts. We're not counselors. We're not that. But everybody's been through an experience, and whenever we have an experience, we always grow from it. And then when somebody else has had that experience, then we grow from their experience. So, and there's other topics like Brittany May, she's lost hundreds of pounds. And so I know we all have clients with emotional eating, stress eating, those kind of things. So I never have been 500 pounds. I've never been 100 pounds overweight. So I have clients that have been 100 pounds overweight, but I don't feel like I can give them that support. And so sometimes if we say like and even if we did like the third and the fourth Monday and advertise the first and the third, we could do like a live, like say Christy had the first person to, like she had a friend that's gone through some trials, and she wanted to introduce her friend. So we kind of highlight him, let them know what to expect on the call that's coming up in our support group. And so everybody knows, when they talk to their clients and they hear things like highly stressed. Well, Jacinda, I talked to her and she said that she has a stress management counselor who would love to do this. So she would take one night a week or one night out of the year, whatever. And we could just kind of talk her up to our clients and be like, oh my gosh, like December 13th, we're going to have an expert come in and address that topic. So, you know what I'm saying? We kind of can posture these different support systems that are available that people don't, because a lot of people don't have money to go to doctors and get counselors and, see physicians over this, but there's real issues that they struggle and need support. But our job is just, as health coaches, is to facilitate and to offer that support. And I was talking to Brian Drollinger about it, and he said, I think that's an excellent idea, but that's why I called all of you guys on, because it's not going to take one person heading this up. Each of us, like if you have a person that you really want to bring up, and it's your friend, then you take that week and make a flyer, get on live and share a little background about him and kind of posture the upcoming event that's going to be happening, and then help us all get the word out to our clients. And obviously we'll get the word to our clients, but what do you guys think? And I'm up for negative criticism, any, whatever.
How would this differ from like the Wednesday night calls? Because it sounds like a lot of the topics we go over on the Wednesday night calls.
I feel like the Wednesday night calls, this is my personal opinion, I feel like the Wednesday night calls are a health topic, but it's not actually an open support discussion where people are getting help.
Okay.
So that's why I'm thinking, okay, I have a local group here in Thatcher, and we're Skyping all of you, so you guys have friends at your houses too, and we're all Skyped into the same thing. So after we, like, say Brittany May comes on and shares her story, and there's an hour open discussion, then, Zoom is over, but I'm sure the people around you are going to continue to offer that support, or that was amazing, or actually I have this problem. So it kind of just gives us an opportunity to offer a support group out of our home and not have to be awkward like, I'm a health coach, do you want to lose weight? You know what I'm saying? Because we offer much more than that, but people don't really, I don't think, realize that.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense to me now. Thanks. I like it.
Anybody? Am I crazy? Say what?
Sorry, I'm laughing at Julie with her big easy smile.
Thanks, Christy.
Tanya, just a little crazy, not real crazy.
I am. I will take all blame for this. Ron, if you're trying to talk, you're muted. Let me see.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Fine, I was, but nobody listens to me anyways. I'm used to it. I said, we're all here because of you anyways. It's all your fault. So, the girl we talked with tonight, Missy, yeah, she has her master's degree in counseling, but she cleans vacation homes for a living now. She left her counseling job. She got tired of it, but I really think she's gonna give her another month. I think she'll begin coaching, and she'd be a great resource for something like that, I think, and would know people that she could maybe even bring in to help talk to different topics as well. So she did it for about 5 years, a couple years over in New Mexico, and then up here in the White Mountains. So
awesome. Well, kind of what brought me to this conclusion is I was talking to a 20-year-old girl who lost her dad 2 years ago in a tragic accident. And she turned to food after that, and she put on all this weight. And in her mind, she thinks that she can't get married unless she's skinny, because guys don't like anybody that's skinny, or unless they're skinny. So she went and had the gastric bypass a few months ago, and now she's dealing with health issues from that. But she hasn't fixed the problem, and she has low self-esteem, and her dad's still dead, and she still has depression. Where is her support system? And I can't be her only person checking on her every day after she told me all that, but she needs extra help. Does that make sense? So I think if we had a group like this that, once or twice a month, where she can tap in and hear that somebody else had a similar situation and say, how are you dealing with that? Or just realize this, for one, she's not alone. But another, like, now she can make that connection, and behind the back doors, they can check on each other type thing, and we can move forward to the next discussion or the next. There's a person here in the Gila Valley where, and Diana probably knows, but I heard that, and Deanna, I think you know too, but I think their son was bullied and ended up committing suicide from it. So there's a lot of people that we have kids, and our kids are being bullied. So it would be awesome to hear how we could help more teenagers, or if we have teenager clients, that are obviously struggling with their weight. Let's tap them into, other teenagers. I'm saying different topics every week, so it's not going to be a health topic at all. This is an open discussion support group, and it's what I want to call it is free, and then the number 2 and B, so free to be, and then in capital letters U. So the support group would be called Free to Be You, and basically no judgment. We're not going to care what they come to the table with. I know some of us are in church groups where they feel like if they have some kind of an addictive behavior, whatever, they're kind of embarrassed to go to their organization for help. So here they can come with no judgment. They can get help if they've got into addictions. I mean, I have people that are 10 years off of alcohol, but holy smokes, how many people, and I have current clients that are trying to get off of alcohol. How awesome would it be to get to have this person step up and think that they're an influence and a leader to share with this person that's struggling and hear their ideas. I've never had an alcohol problem, so I can't really say, well, I would try this or I would do this, but I don't know. Do you guys, and maybe you don't struggle with anything or your clients don't, but do you feel like an open discussion to offer our clients extra support would be helpful?
I think it would be really helpful. I am slightly overwhelmed with how many groups there are though. So I feel like I'm already in 10 groups or something, and there isn't 10, but it feels that way. And so I think that people need to pick and choose which groups are most beneficial to them, but I don't see, or I do see the good benefit of what you're suggesting. I think it'd be awesome.
I would actually like to, help more people. But if I'm talking to one person that's struck, like I have a client that her husband's deployed in the Army for the next 6 months, so she's lonely. Yeah, she could be my friend every single day, but I don't have time for that. But if she had she knew on Mondays, the first and third Mondays, that she could have friends that she could see face to face and talk to, she might, be able to live for the next Monday. You know what I mean? And be excited for, and it's not about the food. I don't care if people bring pizza to your house, to this support group. The support system is available because we can mass produce our clients. We can have 20 people there at a time. And I don't have to do 20 hours of an hour each per client because every client has an issue. Because every client has an issue. And you're still going to get that. You can't eliminate everybody. And they're going to tell you more privately probably. But I don't know. I just think it'd be a good excuse to have a local organization happening when you just say it's an open discussion. It's called Free to Be. And we can have hats with the logos and T-shirts, where you have this bullied kid that wears that shirt and thinks, oh my gosh, this is so cool because there's this really cool person in the community that gave a talk and we give our guest speakers the shirts. So they think, I have that shirt too, and that guy's like a professional roper, or whatever. That's a cool thing for that person that's struggling.
Hey, Tanya.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just want to introduce Diana. This is our newest coach. You already heard from her. Diana, say hi. This is Diana Logan. This is some of the rest of our coaches.
She's a teacher in Pima.
She's jumping in with both feet. She signed up as a client Friday night and signed up as a coach the same night, and got her husband on board for her first client. She's probably feeling a little overwhelmed right now, I would guess, right?
Raise your hand if you guys are feeling overwhelmed. Okay, see, you're not alone. I was just thinking there's about 8 Zooms that I'm behind on. So you can, like you said, pick your poison, but the critical ones are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. If you get more than that, you're doing great. But our job is to be out in front of people, not behind the computers anyway. So anyway, Michelle's just jumping in, but you'll probably catch on. It's just a crazy idea, but I just think, and I'll catch Michelle up real fast, but I was just saying, do an open support group locally, but Skyped in so we can all be on it. So we can each be in our home with 10 people per se. Because I have a client now in Oklahoma, and I should stop recording for a minute, but she said if she had extra support like we had locally in Farmington, she would have done better. So I'm thinking, all right, you're in our Farmington group sitting in our living room with us. Here's your support.
Right.
You know what I mean? Would it help you guys? I don't know. I don't need that, but I know my clients could benefit from talking to them.
I think it depends on too, like I have a hard time with, 4 kids and with teaching and all my kids' activities as well to commit to a specific time. That's why I love being able to watch stuff like later. And so I don't know if that would be an issue for other people too. I'm sure it would be.
Well, I think the ones that really need support would make it a priority to go to it. Like, they have nothing better to do, really. I mean, the ones that really need the support, and they know the topic that's coming up in a week or two from now, they can set aside, I think, an hour to be there. You know what I mean? And everybody's not going to make every one, but anyway. Deanne, have you had any more thought as to after we talked?
I think it's a great idea. I think the biggest thing is going to be finding what our clients need and then finding someone that's willing to talk about that issue. Everyone wants to know that they're not alone in their trials, and so it's just finding someone who, whatever the trial is that week for whoever we run in the most with and who's in charge, finding someone who'd be able to give the best insight for that. So as long as someone's in charge and knows what their client's going through, and if we hear our clients going and have that information ahead of time, like you said, not everyone's going to need it, but the ones that are will be able to get on.
Well, and that's why I think if we come up with the topic, we're prepared ahead of time onto how to advertise for it. And then if we know from talking to our clients that they would benefit from it, make sure we reach out personally and let that person know that that topic is going to be available. Because I have people that are highly stressed or time management, or they've lost a loved one or a child, or, there's so many people that, their health is what pays for all of that. So yes, I think it goes hand in hand with health coaching, because so on all the personal development that I'm learning, one of the ones that sticks to me is if people value themselves, they will add value to themselves. So most people that have the problems don't value themselves enough to change it because they're depressed, or they don't think nobody likes them, or their husbands, they're not in a good relationship. So why even try? So the support group, at least we have a similar situation. You know what I mean? We're coming from the same place, even though we maybe didn't lose your spouse or your dad didn't die in a tragic accident. But no matter what the case may be, why are we, thinking little of ourselves? And like that quote that I posted the other day is, you would never talk to your friend that way. So why do we talk to ourselves, inner selves, that way? So
I really like the idea though, because I think that there's so much more to be addressed with, our minds. And I think that there's so many people that their weight issues revolve around what's going on in their mind. And so I think that this is a really good way to tap into that. Whereas, that's what makes this program so unique, is most don't go this deep. So.
right. And I want all of you guys to know, a lot of you are still in the honeymoon phase, that you're on the 5 and 1 and you feel amazing. But guess what? When life really hits, reality hits. And I'm sorry, but there is no such thing as maintaining and you still got to pick your head up and you still got to try harder the next day, because that's called life. And if we have everybody that, because I think this could make all of your businesses grow. I think it can make your friend circles grow. I think it'd give us an excuse to get out into our communities and pass out flyers, free to be support group, where it's not health class, weight loss class. If you go to your schools and say, I have a support group and we're going to have someone that's had a kid bullied, if you know of teachers or parents or whatever, you know what? People are going to show up because it's something that directs and inspires them, and it's something that they needed. If it doesn't matter to them, we're not going to get them anyway. But maybe the next week, somebody that has a husband deployed in the Army, how did you do it the year that he was gone and you have 4 little kids at home? You know what I mean? Then those group will show up. So I think we're going to have a different group every time, unless you really have the ones that now you have coaches, because you see, oh my gosh, this helped my mom so much. I want to learn more. Then we're going to start tapping into that. But our communities need help. And it's not about the weight. I mean, Ron's been in the program, the honeymoon's over, no more 5 and 1. It's called life itself. And when life hits, you got to just know that you have a support group here. Every one of us, don't care what you come to the party with. We just care that you show up. And we're happy that you're there. And we are so thankful to have each other. And if we can't get that message out, we are not off to be a health coach. And I don't want any of you to think that it's less than that. Because that's it. I mean, how many of you went to convention and saw what's the Optavia way? We had people that cared and came from hard places that wanted a better life. That was it. It was no more difficult than that. But anyway, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it an excuse to put a flyer out in our community. I'm going to find a guest speaker. Brittany May was one of the first ones I was thinking of asking, that's lost 365 pounds. So yeah, it might come across the weight loss side of it on the first meeting, but that's not going to be my next topic or my next topic. But it just gives me an excuse to give them a flyer to the high school or the middle school, or you know what I'm saying, without saying I'm an Optavia health coach and I was wondering if anybody wants to lose weight to please call me.
Well, and I think if you marketed your flyers and stuff that, yeah, your guest speaker has lost his weight, but if you had some that it's about more than just losing weight, and that losing that weight, comes with so many other things that you have to address.
She was a teacher too, or still is. So.
Well, the way we could, sorry, go ahead, Paula.
She said she talked about her struggles too. Did you see that one about her last year when she went to convention, how she had to have 2 seats to sit in, and this year it was 1 seat. I thought that was the most awesome little video she did live on the plane, and she had a tail.
Yeah,
It made a huge difference for her. It wasn't just the weight, it was how she felt.
Well,
her struggles.
to me, that identifies a lot. Like,
Absolutely.
you overcame a lot of objectives and still is. It's not going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, like I said, I hear too many people's issues. I have a client that's been raped before, and then she turned to food after the issue because she wanted to hide herself. So now she's dealing with emotional eating. And if she knew, like Tiffany Smith's story, that also, was sold into prostitute and stuff. And Tiffany was like, please talk to me. If I can give hope to any woman out there, I will offer any kind of support. So these are people that are already willing. So if Tiffany Smith shared her story and then open discussion, and if people didn't want to know who was on, like in a support group, when you show up, and people see your face. You can't walk in with a bag over your head. But like on a satellite one, you could like mute your feed, like turn off your camera and put a weird name in. So, but they could ask a question and it would be private. You know what I'm saying? So we could offer that support where nobody's being called out unless they are comfortable with it, but still give them support. So that's kind of why I'm thinking satellite. But I want to do a local group here too, but I want it to be an open discussion. And that's why I thought free to be you means I don't care what place you are at in your life. This is a group that doesn't cost you any money. And there's a friend, there's always a friend here if you want it. But you can help 30 people in an hour and help, 30 more throughout the week. Or there's no way I could help 60 people in a week if I'm doing one at a time. I'm sorry,
What,
you guys can, but not me.
since I live locally, what's your plan for like location and day and time, that kind of thing?
So if I call it a nonprofit organization, then there's that building between the institute and the church that as long as it's a nonprofit, then we could use it, I think.
Uh-huh.
That's my thoughts. And I'll look into that more, but unless you have another thought, because I'm still new here and I don't know.
No, no, I think, so that would be by the college, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've already talked to people since I've been here and they're like, oh, if you did a support group, I would come. So if I keep saying, well, I will one of these days, or yeah, as soon as I get time, I will. These people said they would come and they need it. So who am I to be the one that does it in my time? I need to make that time. And even if I'm consistent with, if you can't come one time, or if I can't come, or if it's Skyped, be like, I'm out of town this week, but we're going to log into it. And if every one of us takes a different month, then we can actually have vacations and our clients are going to be supported while we're on vacation. That's what this team is for. We're trying to run our business by ourselves. I'm sorry, but we can only do so much. Anyway, so I'm doing the 5 levels of leadership, personal development, and it says as a leader, you have to make a mistake to learn from that and then grow from that. So I'm doing this. It might be ugly and I might come back and hit me in the face, but guess what? We're going to learn from it and we're going to do another one and it might be better than the last one. But I feel very, very strong that I need to offer this kind of support. And I have clients in Oklahoma that need to have this system in place. And I'm not going to fly there and I'm not going to be her group and it's not going to be me and her on Zoom because I can't, she has excuses and I can't relate. And I'm sick of the excuses and I want to say, guess what? This lady lost 2, and I'm not saying this in a bad way to like, your life is so not bad. Listen to this one. That's not what I'm trying to get at. I just want her to say, I know someone that has a similar struggle. You should ask her that question. That's a great question. You know what I'm saying? Because she tells me, oh, you've never lost weight. You don't have any idea what I'm talking about. You're right. I don't. But guess what? I talk to so many people that do. Let me get you her name and let's get on the phone and let's help you out. So then we don't have to pressure on us to pick it up. The way I coach is get over it, and that's not benefiting anyone. But anyway, what do you guys think? Is this crazy? Can we do it?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try it.
Well, I'm going to
Maybe we can get Kristen.
say that again. You're cutting out.
I was just going to say, maybe we can keep Kristen involved with this if we have anyone at the gastric bypass. she's a great resource for that. She did the program with that. And knows that even, and she's not going to keep coaching, but you know, she said, I'll be happy to be a resource to help you. So she'd be good at something like that.
Well, and it doesn't have to be anything to do with health. Has somebody had a gastric bypass and they're dealing with health issues because of it? Oh my gosh, we could get 200 people here for that. But, you know, it's like, oh, drink orange juice because I had tons of bladder infections after it. I don't know. That would be a benefit right there to them. And I don't even know if that's a true statement, so please don't pass that one on. I'm just saying. That's not disclaimer. No. Anyway. But yes, let's do it. But I want it to be open to everything. I don't want you guys to be limited to thinking, oh, who's lost 100 pounds or, you know, whatever. Like, I don't know.
What's your time frame? How often are you thinking? Or, I mean, does that just depends on each people's location, what they want to do locally, or is it something we want to do every other week?
Well, I would love for us to be on the same day, same time, so there's the support, not start to branch off from this because that diminishes the point. So I was thinking twice a month on a Monday night around 8 o'clock for an hour. That way you can do it from your pajamas at home. If like you want one day, you'll be available, but most of the Mondays are difficult, or I don't know, Saturday mornings. I don't like to take my Saturdays. I'm kind of selfish that way, but I just think like on a Monday evening, everybody's pretty much done with work. And even if you do work, most of your clients don't by that time, and they can literally sit from their living room and hide their faces. I hope to have interaction. I don't want everybody to get on and turn off their cameras, but it's a support group. It's a safe, we're offering open discussion for anybody, but I'm thinking twice a month. You guys think that's too much? Not enough?
I would say twice a month goal.
And like if we talked it up, then I think people will show up. But we have to do like, okay, say Ron, you have an addiction counselor who's willing to, you know, cover a topic, and your job is to like get some information about her and go on to Facebook Fit and Fun Live and say, we're going to have a addiction counselor on for open discussion next Monday. She's a wonderful person. Talk this person up. And in your local communities, get with your health coach and see if there's a local meeting group. If not, log on to this Zoom. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuse.
I like it.
Anybody else?
We're game to try it.
Okay. Well, and a lot of you met people at the convention and got some stories. You know, I know a lot of people said, oh, if you ever need anything, I'll talk to them. You know, Brian Drollinger could talk about coming from bankruptcy and creating success and some tips on moving forward and not giving up. I mean, these are kind of random ideas, but who couldn't benefit from that no matter what your job is? How many people are about to lose their home and want to know that there's hope? So, anyway.
When do you want to start these?
I was going to say September 1st, I'm going to have a game plan and our first guest speaker, a local event, a place to stay, a time, and my Zoom room.
Just remember that's Labor Day weekend.
No, I will have all of that at that, like the first The first Monday and Saturday, or in September, I'll get back to you on all that, the stuff. But it'll probably be like the second and fourth Monday of every month. That way we can advertise for it by the first Monday, and by the second and the fourth, they'll be ready to go.
Okay.
I will have a better plan, but I appreciate you guys getting on for my craziness. I just need like this family to tell me you're crazy or whatever, but
You are.
real family things I really, really am,
I just
Kemp will call you later.
right?
I like you, but you are crazy.
That's why we do like you, is because you are.
It's never a dull moment. I just want a different excuse. I'm in a new town. I don't know these people, and I don't want to come across as a weight loss person. So my situation is, how do I ease into this where I don't already get marked as don't talk to her, don't go by her, go around. And some of us might already feel that way. So if you do, then we're not selling you anything. I'm telling you, my friend that's had gastric bypass is going to talk, and if you know of anybody, get on. There is no pressure in that call, but if she hears something after that call that spiked her interest to reach out to you and talk to you more, now you have a reason to have a conversation and bring up health coaching. Because some of us don't want to approach people about health coaching, but this is an excuse to maybe have an intentional conversation. Because they heard something from somebody else and it's not having to be you. I'm trying to make it more comfortable for you guys. Is it working? They're like, oh my gosh. Danielle already knows half of what I think, so she's probably like, oh. Just kidding. All right. Well, I don't want to do this by myself. If it's all up to me, it's not going to work. So if by the first Monday of September, you guys can have some more ideas, I would love to follow up with this Zoom.
Well, I'd say have everybody pick a person that they know, or that they could do on, have one of these. I think we could have from September through the end of the year lined out.
Right.
Pretty easily. I mean, there's 10 of us on the call here. That's eight different weeks from now till the end of the year. September, October, November, December. Yeah. We could easily have those all lined out, filled up. So if we each have one person that we can come on and talk.
Well, we have one health
I'll
coach.
take that assignment.
Thank you. We have one health coach that she actually lost her little 3-year-old because got hit by a car. And so she would be open to sharing what it's like to lose a child, but she turned to depression. Her husband put on a lot of weight. They're now health coaching because they want to pull themselves out of this. They feel like they have things to give back. I know of a lot of my clients who've lost their children and are in a very depressed state that, we could, things like that. So I want you guys to think all over the board here. Get out of the box. Think whatever. It could be random topics. But if you feel like you have something valuable to offer, that makes us each feel good too. So if our client that's struggling in depression because she lost a loved one, but is willing to share her story because it might help somebody else, she's going to feel good because she helped somebody else. That's how we pull people out of these, this cycle that life is not fun, but we're not alone. That's the Optavia way. We have to form local support groups. Anyway, but I want it to not just be localized. I want it to be broadcasted as well. And it might turn into everybody showed up one night and then from then on they're like, oh my gosh, that was too late. I'm just going to stay home and do it in my jammas. That's great too. But the chance, yeah, right. I was kind of talking to Michelle when I said that. Just kidding. No, but I just think it'd be helpful. Maybe my clients are the only ones that struggle. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I'm just sick of being the one and only go-to, because that's not what this is about. But if I knew Ron, who lost 95 pounds, who had this amazing transformation, and call Ron, right? He's going to be our guest speaker. Anyway. All right. Well, I'll shut up and respect your time. And I really appreciate you guys being on, but I would really love for this to be a team effort. And every one of you have something to offer to this, so don't think you don't. Even you, Kemp. That's right.
Okay, it's all right. I really am listening in the corner.
Good thing you're cutting out so we don't hear it all.